الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. Some of the ayat recited tonight. Allah says بل ادارك علمهم في الآخرة بل هم في شك منها بل هم منها عمون. This ayat is commenting on some previous ayat in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about those who worship other fake aliha, fake gods, and Allah says their problem is that they don't know anything about al-akhirah, meaning the hereafter, because this is the motivation that will make someone take matters more seriously. If he knows that there's a consequence for his choices, whether he believes in Allah or does not believe in Allah, whether he believes in his prophets or ridicules the prophets and rejects them, if there's no consequence, then there's no motivation to do the right thing for a lot of people. Some people will do the right thing just because they know it's right. And like someone said, هب أن البعث لم تأتنا رسله وجاحمة النار لم تضرني أليس من الواجب المستحق عبادة رب الورى المنعم. He says, even if no prophets were sent, this is what this man is saying, and there was no hellfire, is it not just and rightful and righteous to worship the one who blesses us or provides for us, meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So some people will worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just because of that, because they are grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and they love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because of His attributes and because of what He has done for them. That is enough. That is called ibadah. This is actually the essence of ibadah, al-hub, to love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then on top of that there is al-khawf wa raja, there is fear, and there is raja means hope, fear and hope, because on top of this there is reward and there is punishment. So that creates the fear and hope on top of the love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So here Allah says those people who worship other fake gods and make them equal to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, their problem is that they have no fear for akhirah. They have no knowledge about akhirah, so they don't fear the consequence of their irresponsible choices. بل ادارك علمهم في الآخرة. Darak, what is darak in Arabic? Darak is something that is low. إن المنافقين في الدرك الأسفل من النار. Munafiqin are in the lowest part of hellfire. Dark. The word dark in Arabic means to low, something that goes low. So Allah says their knowledge about akhirah, بل ادارك علمهم في الآخرة. Their knowledge about akhirah has diminished. It's very little. They know nothing about akhirah. And subhanallah, you see, for instance, in what is left from the Torah, what the Jews read, there is hardly any mentioning of Yawm al-Qiyamah or hellfire. There is hardly any. In the whole, it's like several hundred pages, and there's hardly any mentioning of akhirah. Subhanallah. Even for the Christians, you look at even the Bible that they have, there's few mentioning of hellfire. Even some Christians don't believe in hellfire because it's hardly mentioned in what is left in their books. I met Christians like this. He says, bring me from the Bible anything that talks about hellfire. He's trying to reject that there's hellfire, so he said, bring me from the Bible that there's something that talks about hellfire. So they don't know much about akhirah. But subhanallah, the Quran and the Sunnah tells you every detail about the hereafter. How people are going to stand, in what situation they will be standing, what they will be questioned about, how long it is, how people will be divided, and then what is the step after before questioning what happens, during questioning what happens, how they cross after that over the Jisr, as-Sirat. And then after the Sirat, there is even the believers who have crossed safely, they meet each other on the other side before they go to Jannah, where لِاسْتِفَاءِ الْحُقُوقِ, to take, like for instance, if someone was unjust to someone, that is where they stand. And then after that, they enter Jannah. The details of hellfire is all mentioned. So people who don't believe in the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and don't believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a proper way, they know nothing. And that is why they don't care too much about what they do and what they choose. بل ادارك علمهم. It went down, it's diminished. بل ادارك علمهم في الآخرة. Allah says, not on top of that, بل هم في شك منها. Some of them don't doubt even its existence. Some people have minute knowledge about Akhirah, and some other classes of people doubt its existence. بل هم في شك منها بل هم منها عمون. And some other class of people don't know a clue. I don't have a clue about something called Akhirah. So different grades of people, and all these grades of people, the low knowledge about Akhirah, or the doubt in its existence, or not being aware of its existence at all this leads to worshipping other gods but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and choosing the wrong choices regarding religion. So this is important. Also another meaning of الدارك, and this is the beauty of the Arabic language, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose this language to be the language of the Quran. But الدارك can mean the opposite meaning. Can mean that they have acquired enough knowledge about Akhirah. Subhanallah. How would you understand that? Meaning that Allah is saying that I have provided them with enough evidence to support the fact that there will be an Akhirah. بَلِ الدَّارَكَ عِلْمُهُمْ فِي الْآخِرَةِ. That I have given them enough tools and enough knowledge and evidence that there is an Akhirah. Okay, but they have rejected it. بَلْ هُمْ فِي شَكٍ مِنْهَا بَلْ هُمْ مِنْهَا عَمُونَ. Which means that it is not a matter of lack of knowledge or ability to acquire the knowledge about Akhirah. No, it is their problem that they rejected this knowledge. بَلِ الدَّارَكَ عِلْمُهُمْ فِي الْآخِرَةِ. Another meaning of الدَّارَك means that's تساوى. بَلِ الدَّارَكَ تساوى, means they are equal in the knowledge of Akhirah. How is that? Because some parts of Akhirah nobody really knows, and we are equal in not knowing. Like what? Like the time of Akhirah. The time of Akhirah, does anyone know when the time of Akhirah is? No one knows. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he doesn't know. When Jibreel alayhi salam came to him and asked him, what is Islam, what is Iman, what is Ihsan? He says, فَأَخْبِرْنِي عَنِ الْآخِرَةِ قَالَ مَا الْمَسْئُولُ عَنْهَا بِأَعْلَمْ مِنَ السَّائِلِ. He says, the one who's being questioned doesn't know any more than the one who's asking the question. He knows it's Jibreel. He says, I don't know more about Akhirah than you do. So, meaning that everyone in human beings and jinn and ins, everyone, angels and everyone, they are equal in the fact that الدارك. Everyone has reached the same level, الدارك. Everyone has reached the same level of not knowing when the Akhirah is. Allah says, إن الساعة لآتية أكاد أخفيها لتجزى كل نفس بما تسعى. أكاد أخفيها means يعني أكاد أخفيها عن نفسي. Allah says that I have made it, the time of Akhirah, so not known, like it is not known. أكاد أخفيها. If I was to hide it from myself, I would have hid it from myself. أكاد أخفيها عن نفسي. وكاد أخفيها لأن ورد في بعض القراءات أكاد أخفيها عن نفسي. So this is the meaning of this ayah, inshallah. Any question about this? So you understand الدارك تساوى, أو الدارك بمعنى تسافل, أو الدارك بمعنى اكتمل. يعني three meanings for this. إن شاء الله.